chat? I'm George Balekji. He's my main man, Travis Thomas, out in the PNC Bank studio. We got a packed show for you guys today. We heard from Drake Maye yesterday. We're hearing from Jacoby Brissett for the first time since he got benched. We'll go through the type of leader that Jacoby is and what it means for Drake Maye. Also about the new reports that have come out around the NFL with concerns for Drake Maye's confidence in the situation the Pats are put him in. We'll get into some Week 6 in the NFL predictions. And we'll talk about Kendrick Perkins and what he's trying to do in the NIL space. But first things first, as always, Trav, my man, how are we doing today, bro?
I'm doing good. I like how you glossed over where you are. Yes, I am in the PNC Bank studio. Where in the world is George Balekji? That's the game I like to play on this show. When you're not here with me, I always want to know what's going on here. Where are you?
All right, I'm going to do a clue thing here. First clue for you. I'm in the greatest state in the world. So where am I?
Oh, God. I know your answer is New Jersey, but the real answer is Massachusetts. But go on.
Respect. I love Mass. I love Charlestown. Second thing, I'm in Jersey City. I had to come down back to Jersey, got some family stuff. But my boy Kuko took care of me, and he's let me do it in his apartment in JC. The one rule he gave, he was like, you got to do it in my kitchen. Check out that pothos. Look at that plant. That thing's impressive. Oh, this is real. Anyone thinks it's fake. My boy Kuko doesn't mess with anything like that. So
nice.
Shout out to him and Lex for giving me their apartment as the dojo today for the chat. Jersey City, though, Trav, by the way, you would love JC, man. It is such an underrated city.
All right.
Really small, just like Hoboken, across the Hudson from New York City.
Yeah.
Great spot, very diverse. I'm all about it. But enough of Jersey. Let's talk Patriot. Wait, go. Oh, yeah.
It doesn't smell like East Rutherford, does it?
No, man. We're by the water. No, stop. All right. Let's get on to Patriots. Now you're throwing that around.
Just want to know.
East Rutherford smells. It's the Turnpike in the Meadowlands. It's not Jersey City. So let's get into Drake Maye. As we said on last episode of chat, and I said it, he said all the right things. He addressed it like a leader. He's embracing being QB1 for the Patriots. Yep. Well, they're now quarterback 2. Jacoby Brissett spoke with the media on Thursday. And a couple key quotes. I'll run through them quick. First off, when he got the news and how tough it was, he said, quote, words cannot really describe how tough it is, basically to get benched and lose your job. Then when asked how important it is to be ready because of one hit, he said, Jacoby Brissett, I've been there before, but I'm here to support Drake. What did you think of Jacoby making these comments to the media, saying how tough it is he lost his job, but you got to commend the guy that's still their captain, saying I'm all here to support the starting quarterback?
Yeah, sure, for the quote you just read, but I also heard some disturbing ones too. Like he was just so mopey and down and out. Just like, oh, yeah, I don't know. And they asked him about his role moving forward, and he was so non-committal. Oh, I don't know what it is. I don't know what my role is. Like, bro, I mean, come on, Jacoby. What really did you think was going to happen here? You knew damn well they were going to take a quarterback in the draft when you took the gig. Guess what happened? They took a quarterback in the draft. Guess what that means for you? Much like the draft, when a team is on the clock to take a pick, you, Jacoby Brissett, were on the clock the moment they said Drake Maye's name on draft night, bruh. Now, I can understand the competitive side of him feeling like I should have, had a longer runway. I don't even agree with that. I understand where he's coming from if he's a competitor and he's feeling like I should have had more chances. But damn it, man, you were just in a game that you could have won. And I know. I hear you all saying it, and you're right, George. You don't even need to say it because I already know. If Polk gets his foot down, we're not having this combo. Jacoby Brissett's preparing for the Texans. Yes, that's true. However, that's one play at the end of the game. Bruh, how about all the plays you didn't make that were there to be made so you're not in that position? Now, you and I have spent the whole week absolutely butchering Alex Van Pelt. Much deserved, by the way. But again, Jacoby, as of that game, you were the QB1. It was in your hands. They threw the ball too damn much, if you ask me and George. So, I mean, like, bro, I just don't want to hear the moping around. Just because you didn't get as long as you thought, you should have played better, and you would have. This is ridiculous. So I don't love that. Also, who do you think you are? Like, you're a career backup, bro. You are at best a stopgap bridge quarterback, which is exactly what you've done here. Like, thank you for your contributions. You may go now. Like, bro, the upset part I didn't love, just because it's like, what did you really expect was going to happen? But at the same time, I'm on to Drake Maye. I'm on to the new QB1. I've seen enough and heard enough of the Jacoby Brissett experience. Thank you very much.
But you know what this moping and this anger is coming from, T? Is that this is a guy that, yes, he wasn't great, but wasn't given a fair chance. He knew what he was signing up for. 1 year, $8 million deal. That is a backup quarterback contract, to the antithesis of it. That's an expensive backup even at that. But you're benching me? Am I the one that called 37 dropbacks last week? Am I the one that said throw it 4 straight times when we were on Miami's 13-minute and 12 left and we had all 3 timeouts? Am I the one before halftime against the Seahawks that called a Jermichael Hasty run and throw it twice to punt back to the Seahawks so they get a field goal, which guess what? In an overtime game, every point matters. Was that me?
Right.
Me? Did I decide to only run it 18 times when we're averaging 8 yards on the ground? An attempt? Did I? Oh, no. He did that. The guy that it came with from Cleveland. But where's the accountability? And for him, he finally sees what is going to work potentially with this Patriots offense is back-to-back, same offensive line combination and back-to-back weeks. I respect him being a competitor like this. I respect that he's pissed off because it shows he cares. Yes, his play wasn't superb. Yes, the Patriots needed to inject life into this offense. But again, if they beat Miami, and this does matter, and to understand why he's pissed off, if they beat Miami, then Jacoby's still starting and Drake Maye is still sitting. Yeah. And they lost to Miami because of coaching. Jacoby Brissett wasn't responsible for 12 penalties for 105 yards. He wasn't responsible for the awful play calling. He wasn't responsible for the lack of game management from Gerard Mayo and the lack of adjustments from the whole staff. Like, that Miami loss was on the coaches, not on the players. Now, you want to talk San Fran, throw a pick 6. That's a little different, right? I understand that. But that's where I see the pissed offness is coming from. What I'll say, though, is what is good. He was speaking with Mark Daniels of Mass Live, and this full quote I think is great. He said, quote, "I've been through harder things in my life. I'm sure this won't be the last time I go through something hard." Drake asked me how I'm doing, and I'm like, man, if you're worried about me, you're worried about the wrong thing right now. I can take care of myself. I obviously appreciated that, but I'll be all right. Big on him, man, to go to the Rook and basically give him a reality check. Hey, appreciate you looking out on me. Get ready and worry about yourself. I'll have your back. Your priority needs to be you. You do not need any part of you be concerned about me. Go win what's best for this team. That says a lot about Jacoby Brissett, the teammate, man. That does say a lot about him, the teammate.
Well, I tell you what, I know who's not upset that he's not in the starting lineup anymore. His back, his ribs, his chest plate, his Monday morning wake up after the game. I mean, his body must be thrilled that he's not in this starting lineup anymore, because bro was getting destroyed, okay, every week. Now, I hope for Drake Maye's safety that that's not the case. We know he's more elusive. We know he can boogie. He can get outside. He can run on you, and he's going to be running for his life, Lord knows. So maybe he won't take some of the hellacious shots that Jacoby Brissett was. Jacoby Brissett's mind is disappointed and upset. His competitive nature, his ego, all the things that got him to the NFL is upset. But I am telling you now, George, his body is thanking him. And you know what? For him to continue to have a great career that he's having as a backup in this league, which is exactly what he is. I don't know why we're like tiptoeing around this stuff. Is this the new political correct climate we live in that we can't call it what it is? This guy is a backup bridge quarterback. I'm sorry. I covered him in D.C. I watched it. The dude is a backup bridge quarterback. The end. For him to continue to do that and get paychecks and have a long career, like, you need your body, bruh. And if things were going to keep going the way they were around here, if you played a full season like George wanted, and this was a true redshirt year for Drake Maye, I'm not so sure Jacoby Brissett would have finished the season, George. So good on him. It's good that you now are turning the reins over. We can move on with Drake Maye in the future, and you can reserve your body for the next gig, backing up a QB1 somewhere else, because that's exactly what's going to happen.
Let the record show I consistently said Drake Maye needs to play, but not until the offensive line is ready. I guess technically, the offensive line is ready because they're going to have the same starting combination up front, back-to-back games. Just congrats, guys. You have 4 practice squatters starting on your offensive line, playing the best pass rush and one of the best defenses in the NFL. But I do want to end with this. As we're going line by line, reading between the lines on all of these quarterbacks, Drake Maye on Jacoby Brissett, and he asked about the convo. This is all Drake Maye had to say. Jacoby is the ideal teammate, ideal guy to be in the room as your quarterback. Thing is, you hate it for him. He fought his butt off, got up every time he got hit, and was ready the next play. Got this drive coming. That's what his mentality. I'm kind of, summarizing here. There's the positive vibes he kind of kept. He's a great mentor, great friend. I'll do everything I can to help him. Like that's big on Drake. Again, man, this is a leader the Patriots have, and I love that he's saying this about Jacoby Brissett. It's important, Trav. We also have to look at the fact they have a healthy quarterback room. Let's not forget. Let's go back a season. Bailey Zappi and Mac Jones were on non-talking terms. The relationship between a starter and a backup is so important in the NFL. They would take separate elevators in the building to avoid each other. And don't get this misconstrued. That was because Mac Jones was very defensive once Bailey started games and got insecure saying, what, this kid's coming for my job? I mean, yeah, he is. He is, Mac. Be better. Focus on playing and less about blocking out Bailey. So, again, this is important, especially in a rookie QB, that you have a healthy relationship. And Jacoby Brissett is showing Drake Maye how to be a starter, how to be a mentor, how to prepare in this league. I think that's really important, especially with how toxic this quarterback room was just last season and the season before.
Yeah, Drake Maye better enjoy it. I mean, I'm glad he said those words about him. But look, the future is not going to be so kind. This is why teams bring in a Jacoby Brissett. They bring in veteran, sort of journeyman quarterbacks to nurture the next man up, to nurture a rookie, a young QB that they're passing the reins to. This is exactly why. Because of everything you just said. The quarterback room is not toxic. It is peaceful. Everyone gets along. But Drake Maye is not going to have that forever, okay? Like, it was smart to do what the Patriots did. I don't love what they did or didn't do offensive line-wise in the offseason. I don't love what they didn't do wide receiver-wise in the offseason. But at the same time, I do appreciate, although there were other names out there, which we've discussed on this show and others, Joe Flacco comes to mind. Kirk Cousins was available. There were other directions they could have gone in at QB, but I did understand Jacoby Brissett, someone who understands the franchise, loves the franchise, had been here before, gets it, veteran guy. I was fine with bringing him in to be the stopgap starter until it was Drake Maye time. I love that move, but the reality is this. Jacoby Brissett will move on to the next stop to do the same thing. Drake Maye is going to be in a quarterback room with young quarterbacks, Joe Milton and whoever the hell else they bring in here in the future. But I guarantee you it's going to be a young QB. And I have covered this in my own career, and I know you have, where when you have a young quarterback with expectations, it won't be this season, but in seasons in the future, there will be expectations pressed on Drake Maye's shoulders, right? If that said young quarterback, doesn't have to be Drake Maye, I'm just using an example here of what we have both covered, George. If that said young QB1 struggles, all of a sudden, the drum beat, doom, 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 for the young guy behind him gets louder and louder. I've seen it before with a rookie of the year. A rookie of the year who got injured, didn't look the same. Some fourth rounder came in and took the job and has never looked back since and has made all the money in the world. That's Kirk Cousins. I covered that in D.C. when he took over for RG3, who was a rookie of the year, who had all the hype. These things happen. So this quarterback room may not necessarily be this kind forever. There's going to be young, hungry guys behind Drake Maye for the rest, presumably, of his career. He's got to fight them off. Tom Brady did it. All the quarterbacks have done it. Drake Maye eventually, George, will get to that point. So I'm glad that he at least understands and appreciates the brevity of the situation he's in right now, because it's not going to be that way for long. It's the NFL.
I mean, if the Patriots have their way, they want Joe Milton to be the backup for Drake Maye. Because Drake Maye, I was interested too, but Gerard Mayo said Jacoby Brissett's the backup. Because if Drake Maye does get knocked out of whether it's this game, the game after that, the offense does fall back to what it was with a lower ceiling in Jacoby Brissett's game. If it's Joe Milton, who, again, the accuracy isn't there, the IQ isn't there, the legs and the arm are there, but it's so much more when it goes to being an NFL quarterback. Why they drafted a Joe Milton is your offense doesn't change if you need him to start 2, 3, 4 games, let's say. But you're right there, though, that Drake Maye at least understands what a good mentor is, and I just think that's important overall. He sees what it is to have a healthy leader in the building, so he can be that healthy leader one day. Be that Jacoby Brissett, be that Alex Smith. Don't be that Brett Favre. Don't be that Aaron Rodgers. Be the guy that makes sure you're doing what's best for the team. And right now for Drake Maye, what's best for the team is him focusing on himself, getting ready for this Sunday and the Sunday after, and improving this offense. Now, a focus for some people around the NFL. Interesting timing of these reports too, but James Palmer, a national NFL reporter, reported this morning, quote, "Only concern the Patriots have bringing him in this early is confidence. There's more games now to be played on a team we know isn't talented and in a rebuild for your confidence to get whacked. They saw it happen with Mac Jones in his second season. Sometimes when that confidence takes a whack, it's hard to bounce back. That really is a concern that they want to make sure that doesn't happen." You know what my concern is, T? It's not Drake Maye's confidence. Well, it is, actually. His confidence and his mechanicals to take a hit. My concern is the confidence that you have in the leadership of the Patriots. For them to put out this report today, of all things, for that to get leaked to James Palmer, are you kidding me? Are you effing kidding me? Who put this out? Because whose decision was it to start Drake Maye? Was it Gerard Mayo's, which he fully owned? Was it the coaching staff? Was it Elliot Wolf? Was it Jonathan Kraft, Robin Glazer, and Robert Kraft getting on a conference call with Gerard and saying, play the kid? But to leak this right now, are you effing kidding me? And also, you're worried about his confidence? You know why he's going to get whacked time and time again? It's because you guys are terrible at building a roster to support a rookie quarterback. Yeah. Don't doubt Drake Maye. Don't blame it on the guys on the field. You have these concerns, go look in the mirror. I hate that this leaked out at this time because right now, more than anything, that entire building needs to be behind Drake Maye. I think he's confident enough to block this stuff out, T. I know he's going to handle it. I'm very confident Drake Maye doesn't give an F about this report, but that is such nasty work. Whoever leaked this from the Patriots to put this out into the ethos. Yeah, we're concerned about his confidence because he's going to keep getting hit. Yeah, no, duh. Everyone knows that. You decided to start him. Go put out a better offensive line. Give him better receivers. Get him a better play caller, T.
Look, I'm glad you went the leadership direction because I just want to talk about the player. I have zero concerns about Drake Maye's confidence right now and moving forward, even if he gets a hell beat out of him. Here's why. I'm glad Mac Jones is involved in this report because Mac Jones had 5-star recruits around him at every single stinking position. Everywhere you looked, he had the creme de la creme, the most elite college football has to offer in Roll Tide, Alabama. They weren't losing to Vanderbilt then, George. And, you get to the NFL, you don't have that. I mean, hell, man, you went from like filet mignon to Hot Pockets, okay? But that's the NFL. And you got to figure it out. When they had the talent, when they had the leadership, play calling, etc. around Mac Jones, that rookie year, he looked good. Then it went downhill. That's the NFL, not blaming anyone, although you could, right? Especially I know you want to with those coaches that he had, but that is the NFL. That's life in the league. You lose coordinators, you lose talent. It happens. He was not able to pivot. Confidence was an issue, of course. That's not the case with Drake Maye, okay? Drake Maye was Hot Pockets also in college. This is not anything unusual for him. The lack of weapons, check, had that in Chapel Hill. A putrid offensive line, check. Had that in Chapel Hill. A non-football power. Alabama has expectations to win the Natty every year, bruh. Not the case in Chapel Hill. It's a basketball school. And oh, by the way, right now the Patriots are the laughingstock of the league. Check. Not going to be an issue for Drake Maye. I just think, look, I think his confidence is going to be just fine. I believe the key for us, media fans, is look for the positive. Look for the flashes. Look for the things that he does in this game and beyond that we can hang our hat on and we can build on in the future. He's going to give us all that. He's going to give us all the goods the rest of the way out. Let's figure out his strengths. Let's see his weaknesses. When we see them, let's see if they improve week to week. Does he lean into his strengths? There's going to be a lot of losing. It's going to be a lot of battered and bruised Drake Maye at these press conferences. How is he on the podium? I mean, these are things we have to look for and we have to see. I'm not convinced he's going to have the same damn leadership that you're talking about. I don't know if Gerard Mayo is going to be there. I damn sure right now don't believe Alex Van Pelt's going to be here in the future. I don't know if Elliot Wolf's going to be here in the future. You know who is? I think Drake Maye. So let's see how he handles. I want to see that. I want to see that play out. How does he handle losing? How does he handle adversity? Let's get some building blocks from this kid. One thing I have no concern over is his confidence. I think it'll be just fine.
Look, his makeup was a big reason on why he was a top 3 pick. Like,
Right.
Let's not forget that his dad was an athlete at UNC. Both of his brothers played college sports. Like, there's a big part of his family, his competitiveness, on top of what his size is. I mean, he checks every single box along with his athleticism. But the realness is that confidence does take a hit if you keep getting popped and you start seeing ghosts, to quote Sam Darnold, and you see how long it takes to build it up. I'm with you. Like, I don't have the confidence that AVP will be there when Drake Maye gets into his best years because I don't think it's going to work. But there is the cautionary tale and there is the PTSD that the Patriots should have about the way they handled Mac Jones and how that fell apart because they took a first-round pick and a guy that was a Pro Bowl alternate, at a minimum, had it where he was a top 15 serviceable starting quarterback. Top 15 serviceable starting quarterback, and they absolutely ruined it. I understand where that PTSD would come back in. It's just just putting this out right now with this timing. I think that's complete BS, and you're doing wrong by the future of your franchise.
Yeah.
Whoever put this out to James Palmer, and now have that conversation, but hey, James, keep this off record, but this is a real concern for me. You're doing so wrong. You're doing such a disservice to everyone in that building by putting this out. That's why I wonder, like, who does this come from? And it is someone going out there and doing we're putting him out there. But the concern is the confidence. If he keeps getting hit, he could end up like Mac Jones, where it's putting the blame on someone else. Well, because then he kept getting hit because the offensive line stunk. Well, he kept getting hit because the scheme wasn't helping him. Well, he kept getting hit because the wide receivers weren't getting separation. Okay, who set him up with that? The head coach that hired the OC. The front office guy that chose the blockers, that chose the receivers, that went with these draft picks. And the owner that chose not to spend in free agency. So that's why, do I have concern for his confidence? Yes, because as good as he is, he's still a human being. And we've seen it happen time and time again with prospects in the past where guys came out polished, but it was just too much for them. I'm not going to say it's going to get to that point. I'm not predicting that. I've said I like Drake Maye. I'm mad he's starting because I don't like the situation he's in. Only so many quarterbacks can overcome a bad situation or bad structure. None can overcome terrible structure. And that's what they have with the Pats. When Patrick Mahomes lost to Tom Brady in the Super Bowl, he didn't have an offensive line.
That's right.
Like Patrick Mahomes couldn't overcome that stuff.
Yeah.
Not to get to that point, but let's understand what it takes to make a quarterback flourish.
Yeah.
And it's so much. You know me, it starts up front, man, and then it goes from out there. And with the rookies we've seen succeed, the Caleb Williams, the Jaden Daniels, we've seen the pivot come from their play calling.
Yep.
We've seen their offensive coordinators adapt. We've seen their offensive line wake up. And that's also a Caleb Williams that started 35 games in college, played almost 40 because he was doing backup duties and cleanup for Spencer Rattler.
Yeah,
and that's
two
a Jaden Daniels.
two programs. Yep.
And that's a Jaden Daniels with 55 starts. Drake Maye's coming in with 26 starts. Actual football experience matters. That's why it's important for Drake Maye to play now. But he's getting that really important football experience after you've remolded all his mechanics and his footwork in a crappy situation.
Bro, you make a great point. Caleb, different programs in college, lots of experience. Bo Nix having success right now. different programs in college, tons of experience.
60 plus starts for Bo Nix, T.
Jaden
Over
Daniels.
60 starts.
Jaden Daniels, multiple programs in college, a lot of experience. Drake Maye, one place, not a ton to work with in terms of experience. I hear you, but I do believe that this kid, you know what helps confidence too? Again, neither one of us think they're going to win a ton of games this season, but I think if he is able to buy time, extend plays with his legs, make plays, if he's losing and making plays, his confidence isn't going anywhere because I'm sure he understands over time as we build this thing around me, the man. Okay, to beat a man, you got to beat the man. As they build around me, we're going to be just fine in the wins department. Right now, let me show these fools why they drafted me and why they made the right move, switching out Jacoby and coming to Drake Maye.
He has to have the right expectations, T, where, hey, we lost, but this is why, but look at what you did, right? Find those positives. Drake, you're raw. You're a rookie. Give yourself patience.
That's right.
Understand with what you're working with. Okay, we'll point out the negatives, but let's find the solutions. But also, let's point out the positives, what you did right here, this read, this move. Look at your footwork, how clean that is. Was that incomplete? Could that have been more accurate? Yes, but it wasn't the issue with your feet.
That's right.
It was an issue somewhere else. So just, and that's what good NFL coaches will do. It's not that difficult when it comes to that. There's just a lot to take care of. All right, we've gone through who the backup is, who the starter is, quick predictions, T, and some quick updates too. Ramondre Stevenson not spotted at practice 2 straight days. He's dealing with a foot injury. Kyle Duggar back at practice, first time since September 29th. He's practicing with the Pats as he recovers from an ankle injury. And some updates with the depth chart. The Patriots signed Ben Brown, a practice squad center, to bring him in. He's been in the league for 3 years, just a practice squad guy, along with signing Sincere Haynesworth. So we see the Pats are going, all right, center's an issue. Nick Leverrett's not the answer. We need to get guys in here and see who could play. All of this said, we don't know if Ramondre's playing. We know they have to run the ball. What do you think is going to go down Sunday, my guy?
I got a score for you, brother. Now, to the people out there, the people out there willing to bet on the Patriots to take the points and roll the dice, good on you. I am a gambling man. I want no parts of it, okay? But good on you. I have a message for you if you're willing to do that. You will be sweating this. I do not think that the Patriots are going to get blown out here. I'm going to go, maybe they cover, maybe they don't. It's close. I'm going to go 27-17 or 27-20. I do believe the Patriots get around 17 to 20 points in this game. I think Drake Maye can manufacture that. Okay? Not much different from Jacoby, but I think it'll look different. I think Drake Maye is going to have some splash plays. I think Drake Maye is going to break off a big run or two. I think he's going to have a big throw or two down the field. To who? I have no damn idea. Polk, Bourne, Pop, I don't know. Okay, none of them are any damn good in terms of being the vertical stretch. So I don't know who it's going to be, but I know this, schematically, that's going to be open. The Texans, and why wouldn't you? Hell, I'll say the Texans and every other team on the schedule is going to load the box to stop the run should Alex Van Pelt happen to entertain us and run the ball. What a concept. And also, you have to respect Drake Maye's ability to run, get outside the pocket, right? So I think because of that, a lot of the defense is going to be pushed up as it should, which means you got to beat me to the sideline throwing the ball or you got to go deep, okay? I think Drake Maye is going to have opportunities to do that in this game and beyond. I think the Patriots, this could be a spark for them. No one's really talking about that. This could matter. This team could be excited to be moving to Drake Maye. We could see that, especially in this game. I think it's closer than we think. I'll go 27-17, 27-20, somewhere in that range. I think the defense will hold the Texans under 30.
Putting me on the spot, you coming out with that score prediction, but I do like it. 17. That's how many points the Patriots are going to score. Okay. And there's going to be bad turnovers, especially where Ramondre can't go. Mm-hmm. And the Texans know what they're going to do. Single high safety, man up on the corners on the outside. Toa, Azeez Al-Shaair, they're 2 linebackers. One of those guys will be a spy or the extra safety they could bring down in the box. Yep. The amount of confidence and the luxury that it is that the Texans get home only rushing 4. This is what you see from a Jets defense led by Robert Saleh. This is what you see from 49ers defenses that were led by DeMeco Ryans and Robert Saleh as well. The luxury that gives you against an athletic quarterback is huge because if you don't have to blitz, more guys to spy, get him out of the pocket, you have that spy to contain, and everything doesn't work from there. I just think there is going to be turnovers, especially from Drake Maye. Like, he's going to learn. Like this, but you said it, and let's do it. Like, be patient, Patriots fans. Please be patient. Do not bag on your guy, Drake Maye. I don't want to see an interception. Then I go to Twitter and goes, oh, here it is, another quarterback interceptions. We're going to lose. Have patience in this. You have to. Yeah. You had to as is. Please have patience in the process. Yeah. I was asking for patience through 13 weeks. I didn't want him to start till Indy, right? Right. Have patience in this game, the game after. I think Patriots top out at 17 points. I don't believe in the play calling. I don't believe in the Jimmies and the Joes that are going to be on the field either. But I do believe in Houston's on both sides of the ball, even without Nico Collins. Okay. 37-17. 34-17. 34-17.
Okay.
37-17. Screw it. They're winning by 20. I'll go with that. It's not going to be pretty, Trav. If you guys want more from the game prediction, check out the latest episode of Foxborough Rush. We had the Michael Lombardi on, the host of GM Shuffle, Coach, VSiN Morning Line. He joined us to talk everything Drake Maye and the situation of Foxborough, which was great. We also had Chance Johnson of KPRC2 Houston to give us a Houston Texans perspective on this matchup on Sunday. That's Foxborough Rush, wherever you get your podcast, Spotify, Apple, Amazon Prime. Please like, subscribe, download, rate, and review. And go to Nesson's YouTube channel as well. Hit the subscribe button. Give us a thumbs up. Leave a comment on our videos. We love the engagement. You leave a comment. We like it. We'll bring it up in another episode of the chat. All right, Trav, let's get into a game of buy or sell NFL Week 6 edition. You ready for this one?
You know it.
All right, let's start with this one. Oh, your boy. You're going to like this. Caleb Williams will pass for 400 or more yards against the Jaguars. The Jaguars have the worst pass defense in the NFL. They have very bad secondary, and Caleb's been getting into his own. He hit 300-plus yards twice this season. You think he breaks 400 on Jacksonville?
No, I don't think he breaks 400. I'd be willing to go 300 with him, though, again. I mean, Jacksonville, first of all, their defense, well, screw that. Their team is nothing to write home about, okay? Even though it's a home game for them in that building. But I'm not going crazy, and I am the president. I'm not just a client, okay? I am the president of the Caleb Williams fan club going back to high school, for God's sakes. And he's not throwing for 400 bills against the Jags. I'm not buying that. I think he'll be in the 300s again. I think the Bears will win. And I think what we're seeing from him now and how he's playing is the new normal. I think it took him a little bit to get going. People were hard on him. I heard people calling him a bust and all kinds of nonsense. It just took him a second to figure it out. He's human. He's here now. I think Caleb throws for 3 bills. I'm not going for a honey, though.
The books are telling us something. So Caleb Williams to pass for 300-plus yards is 4-1. 250-plus is plus 115. They're seeing that this ground game has evolved for the Bears. With this defense being really good, they're going to handle T. Law and an offense that, put up a ton of points in a win over the Colts, but that's a Colts. This Bears defense is legit.
Right.
That 400-plus, I don't think he gets there. I'm going to sell this because they can still run the ball well. It's what they've been doing. We've seen Shane Waldron get more run-heavy in his play calling. And I just think this Jaguars defense can't stop anyone, but eventually when that score gets high, they'll take the ball out of Caleb Williams' hands, which is smart, run it, give the rookie a break. But, dude, you could get 250 or more yards plus 115. So interesting. Vegas is saying something there. All right, next one. Your boy in your former city, Jaden Daniels will prove why he is the next Lamar Jackson in a matchup between the Commanders and Ravens on Sunday.
No, I'm selling this, but I'll buy that, and he was asked this, and he was not offended, but he didn't like it. He was just like, I'm just trying to be the next Jaden Daniels, which is the right answer, and that's where I'm going. That's why I'm going to sell this. Lamar is the greatest running quarterback I've ever seen with thine eyes, and you and I watched the Michael Vick era, who was the greatest I had seen up into this point. Lamar's better than he is. He's a phenomenal runner of the football. Jaden Daniels is awesome at running the football. He is not Lamar Jackson, okay? So Jaden Daniels just needs to focus on being the next Jaden Daniels. I can't wait to watch these two go head-to-head. My gut says the Ravens handle their business and Lamar outplays him. but I like what I'm seeing from Jaden Daniels. I'm just not willing to even put him right now in the same stratosphere as Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson is the MVP of the league. You and I watched that Bengals game twice. You and I watched that Bengals game last week. He won that game, okay?
Yep.
Jaden Daniels ain't there yet. The Commanders, when you look at their schedule, Jaden Daniels, as great as he's been playing, they ain't played no damn body. So let's see him now this week against the Ravens.
I'm going to sell this too. I think that's doing a disservice to Lamar Jackson to say Jaden Daniels can be him. But I understand the comps. Look, both are very, very good deep ball passers. Both guys are the fastest guy on the field, depending on who else is on the field with them as well. And Jaden Daniels is uber talented. Same thing as like when Lamar came in, he was, a slender frame. I always say that Lamar had those broad shoulders. He had a frame to fill out. Jaden Daniels is kind of built like a high schooler, which is what concerns me. But he's a very smart runner. He's so good with his legs. But he could beat you with the ball. Don't forget what that game-winning touchdown was against the Bengals from Jaden Daniels. He's going to be great. I'm just going to sell he will prove why he is the next Lamar Jackson, especially against this Ravens defense. Man, you know what the best advantage Ravens defense has? They practice against Lamar every damn day of every damn week. They're going to see Jaden and go, this is it? Oh, okay, we got this.
That's right.
Oh, those are your receivers? That's your offensive line? Yeah. Oh, that's your running back? It's not Derrick Henry?
Yeah.
Brian Robinson Jr. is good, but it's not B-Rob. They're going to be fine. All right, last one.
Okay.
Aaron Rodgers and the Jets will turn it around and get a win as Josh Allen and the Bills continue to struggle. Buy or sell?
Sell. You know what's interesting, bro? If they win this game, Jets I'm talking about, they're in first place in the division. Like it's almost that disgusts me more that Robert Saleh was fired. Like, you can beat the Bills on Monday night and be in first place, and you fire the guy when your defense is humming. That's my thing. If you lose to the Bills, George, and you fire him, I would still say, well, it feels a little premature, but okay, I can kind of get it. But man, I cannot. And sometimes we do see these teams fire a coach and they get a little fire under them. Everyone loves the interim guy, and then they rattle off a couple wins. Usually that's because everyone hates the damn head coach. I don't think that was the case. I think one guy, hated the coach, and that was Aaron Rodgers. One. And the owner, clearly. But I think this team played for Robert Saleh. The defense was there. They have injury issues on defense, and they were still balling. I do not believe they win this game. I think it was a mistake to fire him when they did. And I can't see them rallying and winning this game. Rodgers is washed. Yeah, I mean, you all watch these games. Please. Jets get smoked Monday night. This is a sell for me.
I'm buying. I am buying all the way. They're going to get a boost. This defense is one of the best in the league and absolutely loves Jeff Ulbrich. And this was what Sauce Gardner said. Kimberly Martin of ESPN tweeted this and reported this. He said, if I'm being honest, we're still doing it for him. He said Robert Saleh changed his life. That's why every year he texts him on his birthday, says, appreciate you. He feels weird even today in the Jets facilities. You bring in Jeff Ulbrich. I mean, that is Robert Saleh 2.0. That's the guy he handpicked. You give the play calling duties to Todd Downing. Now, all of a sudden, you're going to have those two stallion running backs, that elite receiver and Garrett Wilson, and Aaron Rodgers, who is yelling at the sideline, let's get an effing play in here. We need to work quick. All of a sudden, them going, oh, here we go. Okay, the right leaders are in. Aaron Rodgers' relationship with Nathaniel Hackett aside, this was big on both sides of the ball. Yes, Woody Johnson handled this terribly. Yes, he's a moron. Yes, the Jets are the Jets. But for this 1 week, the Jets will beat the Bills. And this is a Bills team that was absolutely embarrassed against the Texans. Josh Allen was made human-like, going 9 for 30 from the field. That Texans defense is great. So is this Jets one. And this Bills offense is hitting its ceiling. They've hit their ceiling of, we don't have the receivers that could get separation. They don't know how healthy they'll be. And Josh Allen, the magic's run out. This Jets roster is just better, and they're going to get a huge boost. You have a defense inspired. They need to clean up the penalties, though, because that was a sloppy football team. Nathaniel Hackett should have been fired. Robert Saleh oversees the whole thing. It's on him about the penalties, them being, uninspired and everything. But, man, this is Hackett all over, and I'm happy that he's finally done with the offense.
Bro, I got to tell you something. We're boys, and I love you. And so this is an intervention, okay? I am telling you out of love, all of us here on Boston Has Entered the Chat, out of love, we are telling you, You need Jets rehab. I mean, my goodness. Coming into the season, you were all about the Jets. They just fired their coach prematurely in the season that just started 5 minutes ago. And you're telling me they're going to rally. When you just said a player was like, it doesn't even feel real that he's not here. We love him. We text each other on our birthdays. They're telling you they love the guy. They run him out of the building. They're giving more power to Aaron Rodgers, who's playing like Shaq Diesel. And this is a family program. That's why I cleaned it up. But you know what he's playing like. He's playing like Shaq. And you mean to tell me on a big stage on Monday night against the Bills, who I agree with everything you said about them, but they still have a guy named Josh Allen that's kind of superhuman. You mean to tell me that they're going to rally and win that game? No shot. We need to make a personal bet here. Let's bet a shot of whiskey or something, because I'm telling you right now, no way in hell do I believe in the Jets this week or moving forward. I didn't believe in them to begin with, and now they're giving me more cannon fodder to not believe in them. You need Jets rehab, my friend.
Hey, to our producer, Brendan, 39-minute mark of the episode. That's when Travis said all this. Let's earmark that. I can't wait to play it back for our next episode of the chat. And if I eat crow and if I'm proven wrong, T, and if the Jets lose, I will take a shot of whiskey gladly. Not on company premises, though, but we'll make it happen. I'll send you a video. I will literally start my day with that and then not drive a vehicle for an hour. Let me cover my bases here. I will start my day with a shot of whiskey, and you'll be getting a video along with our producer, Brendan, on this. Look, man, those players are why Robert Saleh got fired, and they know that. They're going to be woken up by this. They're going to be refreshed and revamped with Todd Downing taking over the offense. And now that's going to be a defense that's locked in because the other side of the ball for New York will give them a chance. They get stops. There will be points to follow. I'm betting on Todd Downing, who's called plays before for an NFL offense. I'm just betting on the talent of this roster. Two teams that seem to have the same trajectory going downwards, but the Jets have an easier path to make it go back up, especially because of how this roster is. I like you pointed out that Robert Saleh and how he was fired and everything. So there's something I want to talk about quick. And it's something that I've seen on social media going around where people hypothesized, or there's a conspiracy theory going around that Robert Saleh was fired because he had a Lebanese flag on the sleeve of his sweater. Robert Saleh was fired because he went 20-36 as a head coach of the New York Jets. They got off to a terrible 2-3 start. And Robert Saleh was a head coach that was picked by Woody Johnson, the owner, his brother, because Woody Johnson wasn't the active owner of the Jets. But for people to associate Robert Saleh being fired because he wore a Lebanese flag is putting Lebanon in the same thing and saying it's equal to Hezbollah. If people don't know, it's a very complex political climate in the Middle East. But basically what is happening to the people of Lebanon right now is because an evil terrorist group called Hezbollah, going back 40 years, have ruined that country. I'm a first-generation American. Both of my parents moved to America from Lebanon because of the war in Lebanon. My mom lost two of her best friends. They were murdered in the war. That's why she never went back. My dad, that's not the Lebanon he grew up in. And it's because of Hezbollah, not the Lebanese people. But when you put a theory out there that Robert Saleh was fired because he wore a Lebanese flag on his sleeve, you are saying Lebanon is equal to Hezbollah. It is not. I want people to understand. I start my day every single morning checking in with my cousins on WhatsApp. How are you? How are you feeling? Are you okay? Are you alive? That's a real convo. And how they told me with the frustration that they have is that this is their war, aka Hezbollah's war, on our land. Lebanon is our country. I am Lebanese. If I could be more Lebanese, I would. I wish I was, right? It's a strong country. It's a resilient country. It used to be the Paris of the Middle East. And then an evil group ruined it, literally by fixing political elections, murdering anyone that was smart or educated or westernized. Go look up what happened to Steve Kerr's dad, Malcolm Kerr. Go look up what happened to him. They took over this country and they ruined it. They absolutely ruined Lebanon. It's not Lebanon's war. It is Hezbollah's war. The Lebanese people are the ones that are paying for it. But when you put out a theory that Robert Saleh was fired because he wore a Lebanese flag, which he wore last year on a sideline, when you put that theory out and you say Lebanon is equal to Hezbollah, there is nothing more false in the world. Anyone that supports Hezbollah does not support Lebanon. Anyone that supports that awful terrorist group does not support human rights and the goodness of the world. I just wanted to say that. Appreciate you guys for giving me that time real quick, T. So I had to go on that lane, man, but it's something I saw and it's just like, you got to be effing kidding me. And because of it being so magnified over there, and I understand what's happening right now. I understand. And that's why it's a bigger deal. It's not like when you wore the flag last year. I understand that, but that's not why.
Yeah.
And also it does a disservice to the Lebanese people to say that's why, because it's very difficult for people to ingest and understand the complex situation over there because they think it's Lebanon. No. It has nothing to do with the beautiful country of Lebanon and the people that hate Hezbollah. It has nothing to do with that. So I just want to put it out there that people should not associate the two together. And that is a conversation much more complex than one podcast could put in. Y'all know where I'm at. You know where I'm at on social media. Shoot me a DM, throw me a follow. I'll always talk about it off platform as well. So, T, we got one more subject to get to. I'll just veer it over there, bro. You ready?
Yeah. Well, I just think it was well said what you said, man. My thoughts and prayers are obviously with you and your family. I saw the same conspiracy theories. They're disgusting, and I think you handled it beautifully.
Appreciate you, my man. Love you, bro. Love you for that. And shout out to our director, Ryan, too. He knew to go solo cam on that one. Appreciate you, my man. All right, we'll wrap up with this subject. So, interesting news came out. Kendrick Perkins launched his own NIL company, and basically it's called NIL. And an ESPN investigative report found the company, founded by Perkins in February, uses, quote, predatory tactics similar to high-interest loans. So basically, the company called NIL gives athletes upfront payments of money ranging from $25,000 to hundreds of thousands by him and his co-founder, a Wall Street guy. And they get exclusive rights to use or sell the athlete's name, image, or likeness for up to 7 years. And the company and its investors receive between 10 and 50% of the player's NIL earnings during that period of 7 years. So you get $25K. Whatever you make, every single time you get a check, we're taking 10 to 50% off the top. This is like, I mean, it is like a Sally Mae. It is what college loans are in this world where, yeah, here's what you have to pay to go to college. By the time you're done paying off all your college loans, you will have paid quadruple with us taking 3/4 of that. And for ESPN to put this out when Kendrick Perkins works for them, I mean, the layers to this, man, is interesting.
Well, there's a lot of layers to this where I want to come from. First, let me just start with this story in particular. I think kids now in this NIL world, George, it's going to be very difficult if this is indeed some, take advantage of Ponzi scheme thing, which is kind of what it sounds like to me. If that is true, right? These kids in this NIL world now, George, are so smart and business savvy. I don't really think this is going to be successful. Now, there will be some kids out there who are just flat out desperate to get sort of that cash grab. If I'm understanding how you've explained this, feels like a cash grab. And then all of a sudden they kind of own you, right, in terms of earnings coming in after that. I will say this. I think a lot of these kids in these situations now, these days, NIL in the world the way it is, the sports world, are too smart to sign up for something like that. So that's one end of the spectrum, and I don't know enough about his business model to know enough about his business model, and I don't really care. On the other side, this is where I'm at with Kendrick Perkins at this stage of my career. Okay, so first of all, this is a bad look. This NIL, I think you said it's called. It's a bad look for you, right, Kendrick? On ESPN, you're a lightning rod. You say controversial things. Since I've arrived in town here, people in the media who have been here for evs tell me he's combative. And they kind of shed a negative light on Kendrick Perkins. What I want to do on wax here, so it's for everyone to see, is have an open invite to Kendrick Perkins to come on. Boston has entered the chat. Come talk to us. I mean, we have a bevy of shows, George. Boston has entered the chat. Hold my banner. You name it. Come on, Nesson. Let's sit down and have a discussion because I would want to hear it from the horse's mouth. I also want my own feel for what this guy's like. I feel like everyone's just bashing him around me. I want to interview him. I want him to come talk to us, George. I do. So, Kendrick Perkins, let's tag him. Let's do it all. Please come to our show. Talk to us about not only this, but everything. Let's just chop it up. Let's get a feel because I am getting completely bad vibes from everyone except you. So I want to give you that invite. I also will add, if you don't come on the show and chop it up with me and George, then I'm going to buy in to everything that everyone's telling me about you. I'm going to hold you to that standard because right now it ain't good, and this particular story ain't a good look.
Man, Trav wants all the smoke. I wanted to. I'm with you on that one. Big Perk, come on, man. It's even the company Nilly. It's not obligated to help its athletes fulfill any endorsements. So they go, here's the money. You owe us 10 to 50%. And you also have to go find your own deals. If you give that to a guy, I'll use like Seton Hall as an example. They have one of the lowest NIL budgets in the Big East, maybe the lowest. The resources aren't there to help them find those NIL deals.
Yep.
You are putting these kids in such a difficult place. And it's high schoolers too, where they don't know any better and they probably need it. Again, it's predatory. It sounds awful. And I'm with you. Let's bring Big Perk on. Big Perk, come on the chat. Kendrick Perkins, I'll call you by your full name. Come on the chat and let's talk because this does not sound good. And when you just read about it, man, we will see. But Trav and I want the smoke. All right, that's it for Boston is end of the chat. He's Travis Thomas in the PNC Bank studio. I'm George Balekji Ramo. I'll see you guys back in the PNC Bank studio next time I'm back on this show, though. Hey, make sure wherever you get your podcast, Spotify, Apple, Amazon Prime, please like, subscribe, download, rate, and review. Go to Nesson's YouTube page as well. Hit the subscribe button. Throw T and I on follow. Throw Nesson a follow on all the social channels. Today, tomorrow, the next day, we'll enter the chat. We'll see you guys till then. Deuces.